Alright, here we are in our no reserve Tahoe. It's a 95 two-door. It's factory Indigo blue. It's a LS package, so it's got all options with cloth interior. You know, all power options, AC, cruise, tilt. This is 100% all original truck. The wheels have never been messed with. It's pretty incredible. It still has, after all these years, 25 years, it still has its original floor mats, front and rear. It's got the one-piece one in the rear. Still has its original owner's manuals. Still has, you know, all the little roadsides, all the stuff you get from the dealership when you purchase it. Still has both original dealer tags. That went both keys with the keys. Let's see, kind of unfolds. You got both of them still attached. Has both original brochures showing that this was the first year for, obviously this is a two-door, but this is the first year for the four-door Tahoe. And before this, it was actually called the Blazer. All your paint selection. And there will be a picture of this, and it is definitely Indigo blue. It has unused, you know, unopened original GM Indigo blue touch-up paint. It's got the two-door Tahoe sales brochures. It's really good, really cool just to see something go through several owners and still retain that stuff after 25 years. You know, nobody's ever messed with the wheels. Nobody's ever done any alterations to it. And it's, from what I could tell, it's all original paint, except for I think the hood may have been repainted at one point. It's just not as doesn't have as, it's got nice shine to it, good depth, but it's not as deep as the original paint. You can see on the side it's really clear. So we'll go ahead and start walking around this. It's no accidents, clear Washington title. It's always been Washington, zero rust. So we'll start out the hood. You know, it's a dark color, it's dark indigo blue, so you're gonna see, you know, there is a little bit of scratch here. I can't see any overspray or tape lines anywhere, so I'm not 100% sure the hood's been repainted, but I'm just kind of, it had to have been done a long time ago because it has equal wear and tear. But I'm just putting it out there just in case someone does get it and feel like it has been done. But you will have like little chips there. I got a ton of underside pictures and top side pictures too. So you can see the headlights are still, and the corner lights, turn signals, everything are still actually really nice and smooth. They still got shine to them. Nice and clear, no condensation. The balance has never been over a curb. All the trim's still nice and black. The chrome's got good depth. It is getting a little bit aging, a little bit kind of that, not really fogging, but it's still got a good mirror-like reflection. The trim isn't pulled away here. These bumpers tweak pretty easy, and you can see this one's really nice and straight. You know, a lot of times this will start to delaminate and kind of start peeling off, but you can see it's nice and straight. The grill does have a couple little cracks down below, and to be honest with you, I think what this is probably from is when people maybe jump up in the engine bay to change oil or something, and they'll kind of maybe catch this with their foot. You know, your grill emblem's going to have a couple of crystal chips in it from stone chips throughout the years, a little tiny delamination, and you know, I kind of call this peppering, is kind of what the term a lot of people use, just for stone chips from the last 25 years. And you get the same thing on both front sides of the mirrors, but both mirrors move nice. Cal plastic's never been messed with. No chips or cracks in the window. Got new wipers, of course, front and rear. Now the only clear coat issue on these body panels is right here on the top of the fender. You can kind of see it comes right here, and then there's a little area right there that's chipped up, but it's still pretty smooth. I'm not catching any real edges that want to peel anymore. But the cool thing is it does have pinstriping. It's got silver pinstriping. So if you really wanted to, if you're a perfectionist and maybe you did want to shoot the hood, even though it looks great, or you want to get this area, the cool thing is they could just put a tape line right here and then paint it, and then they could just, or clear coat, re-clear coat it or repaint it, and then they could just put a pinstripe back on and you never would know. So it's been pretty well protected. It's got mud flaps along there on the front and rear, but all the trim is really nice. You know, it's there's a little bit of wear in the paint right here. You know, there's a soft ding. I'm not sure if you can see it right there, door ding. Little chip right there. This is it's from just waxes throughout the year. There's a little bit of dried wax on each door handle. You can get it out if you want to. You can use like goof off or something and get in there. Or you can get brand new door handles for about 30 bucks for two of them. Rubbers are in nice shape. Really nice panel gaps. You can see where the pinstripe lines up nice. but there's no door sag or hinge issues. You know, both doors do have a little bit of your typical little stone or entry edge chips. Tire's got a lot of tread left. Original 16-inch wheels. They're just the factory size tire. You can see there is a little bit of like at the right angle, you can see it, a little bit of like kind of acid rain stains in the back glass because it's so big. Oh, there you go, just on the edges you can see it a little bit. But again, you can get, that's like, you know, a good glass polish, you could get that out. But all the glass, the rear panels are in nice shape, no chips or scratches. The rear tail lights are getting a little bit faded, but no cracks or condensation. You see it looks really nice, and you can see the deep paint reflection. Again, there's no overspray, no tape lines, anything like that in here. Usually when you get repaint, you'll get, you know, overspray on these. You'll get overspray in here, and tape lines you'll see right here. Again, inside the tailgate, same thing. I don't find any tape lines. And up here, you know, all this plastic's in good shape. It's really clean underneath. You know, these haven't had any impact and are loose. I'll take you around here to the back. Again, you got a little bit of the acid rain, just kind of like, not really acid rain, it's just a little bit of like water stains in the glass where you can see it looks like dried water on there. But it has a deep tint in the back, so that's kind of why it sticks out. Rear bumper's in really nice shape. You know, the molded, the top pad isn't pulled up on the corners, isn't scuffed up, hasn't had any impact. Chevrolet emblem looks really good. I mean, you can tell it's just a really well-kept truck. Again, a little fading here. Little entry wear, you got a scratch here, a little chip. You know, if this truck was pewter, white, silver, a lot of those colors, gold, you wouldn't see this stuff. But you can see how deep the reflection, how shiny this thing is. You know, you got a little gouge there, a little scratch here. But again, you go down the lower sides, they look nice and shiny. A little mark of the paint there. There is a little area there that's, maybe they burned through the paint at one point. There is a little ding here. You can see in it on each one there, kind of chipped it up a little bit, and there's real soft dings. You know, again, the door edge chips, some of them have been touched up. All the trim is in nice shape. There is an area right here, it looks like maybe it was touched up at one point, and then they kind of smoothed it out, so because you can't really see it looking straight on it. You got to get the right light and the right angle. But really trying to get everything out there for you guys so there's no surprises. You know, power mirrors are all nice, no cracks. Mirrors fold in nice. Here's another couple areas, looks like it's been touched up. The top of the fenders, you know, they have kind of this arch right here, so from years of waxing and polishing, it does feel like it's kind of getting on both sides, getting a little bit thin right here. So I'd be careful if using a machine on it. I would just hand wax it like what we did. But it's got a couple coats of McGuire's on there, so I think it'd be good for at least a year. There's a little bit in the pink, maybe slight. There's no panel damage or anything like that, but there's just a little bit of like a brush on the paint. But again, you could probably get after it and make it look perfect. Oh, here's another little ding. So I'll start out in the back. It's got keyless entry, factory keyless entry. Key fob works. The rear hatch popper works from the inside too, and it stays up, of course. All the hydraulics are in good shape. You can see just there isn't a speck of rust on this truck. You know, a little rubber again. No tape marks from any type of paint work. Again, this stuff usually gets paint on it if it's had paint work on the quarter panels. Again, you don't see any of that. This stuff would have had some blown paint in there. So it's, unless somebody just took it all apart, but it'd be impossible because you can see the bolts have never been undone. Rear cargo area is in really nice shape. Still has the factory tire cover. The middle seat, or the rear seat, does fold down. I got my little boy in here, Hank, with me today. We had to kind of, when I was doing photos, we kind of ran out of sunlight, so he comes to work with me 3 days a week, and so we had to kind of take advantage of the sun to go out and do some videos. So he's a good boy, helps me do the starts and hangs out with me, and You can see headliner, there's no issues. Nobody's been running cargo in here and hit the headliner or the speaker covers. Really very little scuffs, a little scuff right there, a little darkening right here. But again, you can get a rubber floor mat that are super cheap. Just drop it down, a little darkening right there. This factory spare, or the spare is actually a matching wheel. It's not the steel wheel, which is cool to see in there. It's a used tire, but I probably would prefer a little bit newer of a used tire over the factory old spare. But it's cool to see if you have an issue, your wheel will match. So I'll go ahead and take you around here, the passenger side, then we'll do the driver's side, and we'll go ahead and pop the hood. But you can see the door shuts really nice, you know. And with this era truck, these body lines have really sharp body lines. Also, you got your pinstriping, you got the molding. I mean, if you have door sag, it pops out in a second, or if you have some hinge issues. But you can see through here, I mean, you can see this original, got a little branch that snuck down in there. You can see how clean the bolts are. Passenger side door panel is basically immaculate. Only a little darkening in the carpet there that could be feathered out. But what I love is these trucks, they're original all the way down to the wheels, the stereo. I think it's got the original exhaust, but someone's put a chrome tip on it. Looks great. But it comes with all this original stuff like the floor mats. To me, that stuff's amazing because 25 years to have all the original stuff to go through a couple owners, the floor mats, and nobody messed with the stereo. No one pulled the door panel away and broke it. You don't have screws going into the side. The original trucks like that are really, you know, what we like to have and, you know, really kind of get excited about and want to have in our inventory. No cracks in the dash. I mean, I don't think a cup's ever been in here. Nothing's been in here. A lot of times people put cell phones and keys and it'll just get all scratched up. These cup holders are basically useless. If you put something in there, your passenger's gonna be wearing it. But it's got two cup holders there that actually work really good. A couple little screws here. I'm not sure what happened there, but thank God they didn't put it in the actual dash. I mean, this part is replaceable too, but you could just find a nice one on eBay or something, or a wrecking yard. Full drive works great. You can see the shifter boot's in nice condition. This folds out. You know, hinges and locks. You could I put keys and cell phone in there, but you know, it's for CDs. Armrests. Passenger seat is perfect. I mean, this thing is flawless. I mean, the interior overall in this thing is in amazing shape. They do have, these things are loose and they do sag down a little bit. To be honest, on my truck that I had, I just cut them right here and got rid of them, and you couldn't even see it was there. But on every truck of this era that's a Chevy or GMC, I've had that issue. These are still nice and tight. You put your stuff in there, they're not sagging out. No entry wear. Got your lumbar support. Again, the original floor mat. Got a little hanky right on in here. He's got the dirty face. He's been working hard today. You can see no scuffing on any of these panels. They're just in perfect condition. Non-smoker. Never been smoked in. Now all the lights are working. You know, Hank and I, he's my light guy. He goes through and makes sure all the interior lights are working. Right, buddy? This folds it down and locks. A lot of times these will get abused and they don't lock back up. But the rear seat looks like it's really never been used, so hopefully you guys can see it in the pictures. But obviously, we got Junior in the middle there, but you can see the sides. All right, so we'll go around here to the driver's side. Man, yeah, like this here, the felt material is just beautiful condition. This is nice and fluffy. I just love these two-door Tahoes. I mean, these trucks, four-door or Suburbans or any of them, they ride amazing. I mean, the GM truck's got the ride quality down. You know, carpet is in nice shape. You know, a little bit of darkening on both sides from the entry here, but that's pretty much it. And I got pictures of both. But you can see, still got all the pads on the pedals. Steering wheel's got a little bit of wear, but again, no cracks or nothing. Rear view mirror doesn't have any fogging or issues. You know, driver's side door panel is just as nice as the passenger side. And this is one of the things on the GM trucks. I don't know why, but a lot of times this will be just washed out. I'm not sure whatever they made this out of. And you want to be able to read these things. And these are just really nice and clear. Nobody's ever popped these off, and it's not missing. These little rubber guys. I mean, you have all these little push-in attachments in good condition. You know, again, zero rust. The only, besides a couple little darkening areas on the interior, is just you can't tell if it's just a little bit of the blue worn away or maybe a previous repair, but it does right here just kind of flatten out a little bit, but it's not noticeable when you're riding in it. Both armrests are in phenomenal condition and they stay down. So go ahead and pop the hood. We got her nice and warmed up now. I'll go ahead and take you guys underneath here, and then I'll fire it up, and then we're gonna go ahead and take off or hit the highway. But this thing is very clean. Like I said in the ad, we just had the transmission. Put a ton of money into this thing just to make sure transmission was feeling definitely soft, so we had a transmission rebuilt, AC Delco plugs, of course, oil change, air filter, you know, tires rotated, balanced, lined, serpentine belt, you know, cap rotor, stuff like that. But you can see how clean it is. You know, for being an original truck, I mean, it's just super clean. You know, we don't get these things steam cleaned with armor all over the place. And we like them to be nice and honest. You know, like they were cared for. Because if you see a truck that's like this, you have a little bit of dirt here, and you know, you have use. It shows that it's been used throughout the years, but well cared for. So, all right, well, next I'll go ahead and fire her up here. Now go ahead and you pop the rear hatch button. So that works good. You can see it's burning nice and clean. In the cold start video, it is cold, so you get, you know, a little bit of cold weather condensation, but this thing's no noises, no smoking, no hesitation, just an awesome truck. You can see it's running nice and smooth. No belt squeal, no power steering whine, no idler noises or anything like that. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and hit the road. All right, here we are for the underside video of our 95 Chevy Tahoe two-door. It's a beautiful original Washington truck, rust-free, really clean underside. We got a bunch of underside photos, so lighting in here, even with all these LED lights, is tough. But I got a light in hand here too, so maybe I'll shine it up. But you can see the underside of the body is just really nice and clean. You know, you get a little bit of surface rust on like your, you know, the bare steel type items like your drive line, but you know, it's good solid metal. There's no shingling. I mean, a good indication is if you look at your threads here, you can see kind of just how clean the threads are. If you're gonna have rust buildup, you're gonna have you know, a shingling look, or the threads are just gonna be toast and covered, but all the bolts are super clean on this. Transmission was just rebuilt locally. You can see it's really nice and clean. Again, sorry for the lighting, but it is kind of cool to be able to do some of this stuff underneath. You can see there's, you know, there's no real wet spots. It's really, you know, it's dirty, greasy. You know, it's 25 years old, but you can see it's just, you know, no oil dripped down. It's not steam cleaned or anything like that. You know, all factory exhaust. You know, hopefully it's not too bright. You guys can kind of see the oil pan. You can see the bolts. You know, there's a little bit of, you know, of course, around the oil filter. Got the Wix oil filter. You can see the U-joints are pretty new. Replaced not too long ago. You know, there's some little dirt and grease and stuff like that, but, you know, differential, front skid plates, not all covered up in oil, anything like that. It's super clean. You can see the side of the paint too is really nice and shiny. It's got the reflection of all inside here. But I'll take you along here. You can see along the frame and the underside belly. You can see all the original sealers and stuff like that. You can see the original plugs are all nice and clean. And take you inside the frame here. You can see how clean that is. Getting inside the frame here. You see there's no pinion seal leak, anything going on like that. No wheel cylinder leaking. Lots of tread left on the tire. So alright, that's our 95 Chevy Tahoe. This baby's going at no reserve, and we got, you know, cold start video, driving video, walk around. So alright everybody, it's going on no reserve, so good luck.